Hey, what's up, guys? My name is JC. Welcome back to another video. Today, I'm kind of switching up the format a little bit. I'm gonna try and mess around with some editing in DaVinci Resolve. I have an idea of just having some gameplay with the audio overlaying that, and I'm gonna try and mess with some like transitions, maybe just for like an outro kind of thing. Not like old YouTube, but like just like a fade to black kind of thing. I'm going against a lot of issues when it comes to editing just because the computer that I'm using is like 15 years old, and just doing like the basic things is insanely complicated and it takes forever. I mean, the footage I have playing right now is just like some Minecraft footage from when I was playing last night, but uh it took probably a minute and a half just to put the clip on DaVinci Resolve. Like, I was messing with it earlier before I started recording, and it took like a minute and a half just to load the clip into the software. And I mean, it's just irritating. It's not like the end of the world. It's not like it's a hindrance or anything like that, but it's just frustrating, because it takes me three times as long to do something simple like putting a clip into DaVinci and just putting some audio over it. But anyway, those are just some of the things that have been bugging me. Going with this whole YouTube thing, I am gonna try and like make different kinds of videos. I was thinking about like doing like some documentary type videos, but right now the situation I'm in, like with housing and all that, and the place that I live at, it's a little bit hard to get actual footage, and I think that has to just do with like my anxiety, cuz it's weird for me, going out in public with like a camera and recording something, or like having a tripod especially and recording something. It just makes me feel kind of weird, it's just like uncomfortable, I feel like people are looking at me and judging me and stuff like that, but I know that I probably shouldn't put too much thought into that just because, if I want to do this, I should just go out and do it, But uh, the computer is also a hindrance when it comes to making those kinds of videos because I'm gonna have to do a lot of editing when it comes to those videos, and so if it takes me like 45 minutes just to make a simple like it won't take 45 minutes to edit this video. It'll take 45 minutes to save the edit and export the edit and do all of that stuff, Cuz I used to like a couple months ago, I think like during December of last year, uh I was making like a lot of Elden Ring clips and a lot of like Marvel Rival clips and just trying to like learn how YouTube works and just trying to see what gets views and what doesn't, and just trying to do stuff like that. But the problem with that was it took so long. It just took forever to edit everything, and it was simple things like getting footage that I like recorded and cropping it or like changing like the dimensions of the actual film, just so it could like fit like like the shorts format kind of thing. All of that, it took so long to do it. And back then I was not working. That was in the period in between jobs, that like little 2 month gap I think I had. And so I had like all the time in the world, I had all the time to just play video games and edit videos and wait the 45 minutes for it to export, and I just had all the time in the world to do it. But now, since I'm doing the 40 hours a week, I don't really have all that much time. And so I guess there's like pros and cons to this, and it's really like the last couple of the days especially I've been really struggling with this feeling of like, am I wasting my time, or is my life like meaningless, like I don't want to say meaningless because it's definitely not meaningless. That's not the right word, but I just feel like I'm gonna be stuck at this front desk job for like the rest of my life, and there's nothing else going on, and there's no room for growth. It's kind of how I've been feeling lately, and I feel like if I can just snap out of that and get that mindset out of my head, I could feel a lot better, and working this job would be a lot easier. I mean, the job is very easy. I'm not going to sit here and say that it's a hard job because it's not, but it's really boring. And I have to work on my patience, because I don't know. I don't want to sit there and just check people in all day. It's draining, it's just draining, soul crushing kind of. But if I can keep this job, then I can have a source of income, and that source of income is going to be key because I feel like in this time that we're living in right now, the 2026 and all of that, with the type of technology we have and the way that the internet is, like if I wanted to, I could send a text to somebody on Instagram that's from China or Japan or South Korea or something, like all the way across the world, I can communicate with people. And the way I can communicate with people, those people can see, what I'm doing, So if I'm making these YouTube videos and I'm sharing my thoughts online and, once I start some projects, once I start sharing those, everyone can see them, everyone in the entire world that has access to social media can see your posts, and I feel like there's room in there, It's not just work, 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 and go to your desk job and do nothing. I feel like, especially in today's, technological world we live in, that you can really do anything just from your home, And that's kind of what I want to do. I don't know exactly what I want to do, but I want to use YouTube and social media as a platform to produce something. And right now, I mean, I'm in a learning phase right now for sure. But I think I want to learn, like the cinematography stuff and the editing and all of that and making an actual cohesive YouTube video or just film. It doesn't even have to be a YouTube video. But these are all just kind of thoughts that are going in my head right now. And I think one of my issues that I'm having, like the last couple days especially, is just having too many of these thoughts in my head. And I've been watching this guy on YouTube. I can't remember what his name is. It's like Polly Walnut or something like that. I don't remember, but he makes these just like kind of like videos like this where he just talks about things he's doing and how he's feeling and kind of how he's trying to improve himself, And he'll be playing like Call of Duty or whatever and just having a voiceover, and it's very similar to this style, but he was saying in one of his videos that he was going through like the same thing, just having so much of the clutter in your head that you feel like a zombie, or you feel like empty, so like meaningless, worthless almost. And one of the one of the things he said that he was trying to do, which it kind of made me laugh, was just detaching, just detaching from social media, detaching from your phone, from Instagram, from YouTube, and going and experiencing life, like going out and going places. And it might just be that it's starting to turn spring from where I'm at right now, and it's getting warmer and the sun is staying out later, and that feeling you get when it starts to get warmer, that dopamine release, I think is hitting me. It could either be that or from what he's saying, but I really think that it's a good idea, just to detach and just to go out into nature, and just walk, And that's one of the things he was kind of saying is that back in the day, like when our parents were children, they didn't have phones and stuff like that. They had Nothing. They didn't have phones. They had nothing. Some my mom had a pager, I guess, but uh, they actually those though the people that lived back then, they walked around and they talked to each other, and they took walks down the street, and if they passed each other, they said what's up, and it was much more social environment and community. Nowadays, I mean, where I'm from, people don't walk on the street because it doesn't make any sense. Everything in my city is so spread out that you have to have a car to drive anywhere, or to get anywhere you need to drive, because if you don't, it'll take like 20, 30 minutes. But uh, if you think about places like the gym and stuff like that, people don't talk to you anymore. Everybody is just on their phones working out, or they have their earbuds in, and they have like the noise cancellation on. So it's just totally different, and I kind of been thinking about that. How does that affect us as human beings, because inherently, like by nature, we are social creatures. We need each other to survive. And if you've ever had a period of like isolation, like an extended period of isolation, you definitely know that even if you don't really like people, you still need to be around people, because you will just lose your mind. But he was saying that in this video that he's been going out to a park, and he's been talking to this older guy, that they play basketball in the morning at this park, and he's just been talking to this older guy and getting his perspective on life, and it kind of that little phrase, getting his perspective on life, kind of resonated with me a little bit, because we all have different perspectives on life, and it's been something that I've been thinking about a little bit recently, just that everybody views life differently. Some people say that I view life very negatively, and then some people say I view life very positively. I, in my opinion, I don't have a very positive view on life, I don't think, but that's just how I am. But anyway, having those different perspectives and getting those different looks into people's lives is very influential for us. And it's beneficial as well. I mean, if we look at like history, right? We can take so much from just what other people are doing, right? And we look at the mistakes they made, so we don't emulate those mistakes. And we look at the things that they did do and the things that they did right, and we try to emulate that so it can maybe work out for us, right? And now in our day and age, we're kind of losing that, I think, just because of how disconnected everybody is. You know, like I said, you can't go anywhere without seeing people, but all these people just have earbuds in, or their faces are in their phones, or they're looking at the ground, and they don't want anything to do with you. And for me, I'm okay with that. I really do not care either way, but at the same time, I do kind of care, because I'm I'm 21, right? I don't think I'm ever going to get another girlfriend. I mean, I had a girlfriend in high school, right? And some bad stuff happened, and we had a falling out, kind of, and I'm just going to leave that there at that, because it's a little personal. But I go out to like bars and stuff now when I can, because it's so expensive, you can't really go out. But when I save up a little bit and decide, okay, I want to go out to a bar and have a couple drinks, I don't see anyone my age at these bars. I mean, the only people that I see that go out are like 50 to 60-year olds, and most of the time it's just a gamble. And I know that that's very specific to where I'm from, because like gambling is everything in my city where I'm from. But uh, the only time you see people out going places and doing anything, it's usually just to go from home to the casino, or from home to the bar, or from work to the bar or a casino or whatever, just to go gamble. And there's I mean, there's a lot of places and a lot of opportunities where I can meet people my age, and have a not even like a romantic relationship, but just like a friendship. And it's almost impossible because nobody goes out, and you can't see anyone, you can't meet anybody, and everything's online. You have to, like, if you want to meet a girl, you go on to Hinge, right? But Hinge is kind of crazy, and it's super, like, to me it's very frustrating because I don't really know how to, like, show myself. Like, I don't know what the word is. What am I trying to say? I don't really know how to show who I really am on, like, a Hinge profile, you know? And whenever I'm looking at Hinge, like, I'm looking at girls, to be honest, I just kind of, like, get grossed. Like, I get grossed out, you know? It's like half the time it's either I'm looking for a 6'2" man with dark curly hair and a mustache, hella tattoos, and rides a motorcycle or dirt bike, you know? It's always shit like that. Or I want a guy that'll take me skiing or snowboarding or something like that. Or a guy that drives, you know, they just want, like, the country guy. And I guess that's because of where I'm from. But I don't get looked at twice on Hinge, you know? I've gotten a couple matches the last couple days, and 9 times out of 10, what happens is I'll get a match, right? And I'll send a text. I'll be like, "Hey, how's it going?" You know, something simple, you know, just to, like, get a conversation going, right? And 9 times out of 10, I'll either get blocked or just no reply, you know? And so it's like, why do I have to go on Hinge and try and play the game on Hinge or on Tinder or whatever just to meet someone? You know, like, I don't even really want to date you. I just want to say, I just want to talk. I genuinely just want to talk at this point, you know? That's all I'm looking for. Just somebody to talk to, go to a bar with, maybe. I don't know. It's kind of ridiculous, but anyway, it's just been bugging me, you know, that we're losing that social aspect that we used to have as a society, as a human species, you know? And all the older generations, they kind of still have it, but you know, they're dying, you know, like, they're dying. The older generations, that's what happens when you get old, you die. And when Gen Z is, like, in full control of the government and stuff like that, or like the main group of people in America, it's going to be super, super weird. And I am not really looking forward to it. But anyway, I'm going to leave this one here. I know that it was kind of rambly, a little bit messy, but I'm really just trying to get videos out right now and trying to learn how to do, like, the editing and stuff, just because I still want some traction on my videos. And I've noticed since I got this mic, the last video I uploaded, it got a decent number of views, you know, like, nothing crazy, but a lot more views than I normally get on YouTube videos. So anyway, I'm gonna leave this one here. Hopefully you all enjoyed, and hopefully you guys are doing better in life than I am right now. And good luck to all y'all, and stay safe. Peace out.